Senator Lawless is next. You have 8 minutes, Senator.
Cathaoirleach, 35 million people in the United States, 16 million in Great Britain, 4.5 million in Canada, 2 million in Australia and 0.5 million in Argentina. Ireland is much greater than the jurisdiction of this Parliament and broader than the community of this island. Tens of millions of people around the world claim Irish heritage. Yet I am the first representative of those interests to have been afforded a voice in these houses of the Oireachtas. At a time when our neighbours across the sea are retrenching from European partnership, when the party of Abraham Lincoln is calling for borders to be closed and trade links severed, now is the time for Ireland to send a message and reach out to its community across the globe. I can think of no better way of demonstrating to the Irish diaspora that Ireland wants you to be part of our state, of our community, than expanding the franchise of this House and building a Seanad that can have meaningful impact, not just on these shores, but much farther afield. When the Irish people voted to preserve the Seanad in 2013, they did so not out of any true affinity to how this House operated. The people gave these houses of the Oireachtas the clearest mandate it has ever received to reform the Seanad. We must look forward, and I believe this bill is a leap in that direction, giving Irish citizens with current passports living abroad the chance to be eligible to register and vote on the panel of their choice for the Seanad would give a clear voice to the Irish immigrant community which I represent. It is estimated that there are 3.1 million Irish passport holders living overseas, and affording these people a vote in our Seanad should be just the first step in redefining Ireland. A European Union without the United Kingdom, with whom we have always shared common positions on trade, investment and taxation, will be one where Ireland needs to present itself as a nation of 70 million people and not a small country on the periphery of Europe. The immigrant voice needs to be heard, and we need to connect with that voice. Studies have shown that over time, a 10% increase in immigration in a particular country was associated with a 1% increase of exports to that country and a 3% increase in imports from it. Networking and strengthening connections with diaspora has consistently been shown to increase economic activity in the home country. Whether it is Israel becoming the world's second largest venture capital market or India a global technology hub, it is the diaspora strategies of those states which has been at the root of their success. We need to harness the Irish diaspora now more than ever to ensure more investment in this country, more jobs and greater economic stability in the face of the inevitable economic winds this country will face from Brexit. But it is not just economic benefits of providing the diaspora with representation in this House that should be considered. It is also the enormous cultural, political and social ties that have led to the transformative changes in Irish society that shows why the diaspora deserve to vote for representatives of this House. Nowhere was this more evident than the same-sex marriage referendum, where over 70,000 returning immigrants were estimated to have flown home to vote and have their say in such a significant change to this country's social identity. Speaking in the Dáil in 1963, John F. Kennedy summed up the interwoven fabric of the diaspora to this state's development best when he said, "If this nation had achieved its present political and economic stature a century or so ago, my great-grandfather might never have left New Ross. And I might, if fortunate, be sitting down there with you. Of course, if your own president had never left Brooklyn, he might be standing up here instead of me." In describing the modern Ireland, he extolled the virtues of a truly global independent Ireland. Quoting, "For self-determination can no longer mean isolation, and the achievement of national independence today means withdrawal from the old status only to return to the world scene with the new one." His words have as much meaning today as they did in 1963. Ireland must stand on its own 2 feet in the global stage, and we need our diaspora to achieve that. I commend all those who have worked on this bill, and it is my sincere hope that Dáil Éireann and this Seanad can see swift passage of the reforms in this bill, empowering the diaspora with their vote and sending a clear message to Ireland's global community that we are listening and that we want their voices heard now more than ever.
Thanks, Senator.